So tell me if you've heard this one before. Conservative man is secretly homosexual and laying between the sheets with a bunch of other men. Have you heard that before? Is it a sentence you've heard inside of your brain? Is it a sentence that lives and fumigates inside of your mind? I've heard it countless, and I do mean countless times. I have heard it every single day with Brian Nome, with this little situation, Christy Nome's husband. I have seen it with Tyler Perry. Man, I've seen it over and over again. Today, specifically, what someone messaged me about, I think it was June 24th. Someone sent me a message on Discord saying, hey, this might be a thing you can talk about for a rainy day. This is a video about Chud the Builder, and he's sleeping with a trans woman. Now, this is actually very important. Before I even get into the video with sleeping with TS Baby Jane, let's talk about this for a second. This is the video we're going to be reacting to. Just want to point that out. It's 42 minutes, so probably want to watch this at like 1.5, 2 times speed. It's going to be a bit of a long video. And then I want to, before we even get into this whole debacle, I chaptered the video for you, so it's a lot easier for you to watch. We already knew this information because Chud the Builder got pegged by a black woman. That was a whole thing. And we'll watch this video first just to get some context about that, because we already knew Chud the Builder got pegged by a black woman. But before I even get into this is a well-documented phenomenon already, not just with Chud the Builder, with conservative men secretly being homosexual, because this is, and the best way I can phrase it is a ploy of 3 things. Men needing to dominate other men because, guess what? This is super important. They want to feel like they have dominion over other men, because a lot of men feel like the only people to them are their equals or other men. And when you dominate another man, it makes you feel powerful. Dominating a woman doesn't count because that's a trophy. That's an object to a lot of men, conservative men specifically. When you dominate another man, it proves you have dominion over another man and makes you feel stronger. That's the first reason. Second reason being, we already know that back in the day, a bunch of very angry, edgy, LARPing, angry, just wild nerds and things of that variety felt ostracized by their community. And we have people that were secretly homosexual and felt ostracized by their community. So they were racist, sexist, and homophobic online, not knowing that they might have been baby eggs. That's why people like Jax so much and the Amazing Digital Circus. They see themselves in Jax, who's a very defamatory character. People say, oh, I was a lot like this growing up. I would say slurs back in the day because, and this is very important, a white trans woman is still white. A white gay man is still white. And also a white gay man is still a man, by the way. So that's still a thing. It doesn't take away from the other titles just to be a part of the group as well. You're still white and a man if you're a white gay man. It's still a thing. So you still have the inherent nature of, you know, being a man, and then you still have the societal nature of being white, which is a blanket statement, very just harsh generalization. And if you feel offended by that statement, please note that if it doesn't pertain to you, it doesn't count for you. I just want to get that out the way, that this is already a well-documented phenomenon. It's a phenom that we already know. And the third thing, finality, is because they never get to explore their sexuality. It's a big reason why you might notice your parent try to later in life have a awakening of themselves because they never got a chance to when they were younger, maybe when they were retired, maybe they might even become more progressive, or maybe they double down to become more of what they were back in the day. Who knows? My father wants to get his last name changed because he wants to understand his roots and backgrounds. That's just how it works and that's how it operates. But we already know this well-documented phenomenon. We grasp it, right? This is a very common documented thing. Most people that I know that are a part of, I guess, the local LGBTQ scene that are gay white men. Gay white men love picking on women. I don't know what that's about. They're just mean and ornery. It's a strange thing. Some of the harshest critiques I've ever heard about women come from gay white men, and it's done under the guise of love. It's just the whole thing. It's a very specific kind of love-hate. It's strange. It's very pick-me behavior. It's odd. I don't grasp it. But let's go to the first video about him getting pegged by this black woman here. We already got this documented. So this seems to be a very well-documented phenom. I would like to talk about this. Also, this photo of Chud the Builder in this dress, I don't know if it's AI generated, but it is the photo chosen to be side by side with him. So I'll keep it up and we'll do that. So I'm going to blur out the middle part in the beginning. Just going to state that right now because it's words I can't have on here. They will be blurred out throughout some of this in order to keep this video able to not get restricted. Let's keep it going.
here, pretty bitch with a big dick. It's literally in my bio. I'm only bringing this up because Chud the Builder's cameraman put our conversation on Broadway on YouTube. Now millions of people know what I look like fresh off work. Fucking great. But in the caption it said that Black woman who used to smoke mid and get raw dogged by Chud the Builder. Well, he's not lying. I already told y'all we used to smoke. He used to sell me weed. And we did raw dog. A lot. Me, him, and my ex-wife. I am a professional pegger. It is no secret that I perform prostate massages, if you will, for men. I've been doing it for a very long time now. Most of my clientele is white men. We sign NDA agreements. I talk about me pegging all the time, but I never tell you names because discretion is key. Confidentiality is why my client list is so long. But Chud mentioned it first. I think that he said it the way he said it because the white supremacists were probably like, ew, you used to hang out with a black girl. Shame on you. So you had to make it sound good. But see, here's the thing. I'm an egregore too. Lily Venus, hi. Hail the great mother. So I am all about enlightenment, controversy, occultism, witchcraft, and of course, love. So me talking about this is what my brand is about. Let's expose it, bro. So yes, pretty bitch with a big. Now Chud, he doesn't even have a little chubby butt no more, so I probably wouldn't fuck him again. But I'm wondering, did you bring that up because you want to spin the block? Now, when I first fucked him, he was a virgin, and I'm having a hunch.
Okay, so I think she just goes through and shows the other sizes that she used on him. Those are the sizes, so we grasp it. We get it. We understand this. We grasp it. That's the whole thing. So we already knew about this. I didn't do a video covering this specific thing because it's like a 3-minute clip of it, but it just seemed to be facetious to make a whole video about this. I feel like it'll be wise to bring it up now. Now we can get into the big, juicy, mega allegation, the super big one. This one right here. The TS Baby Jane. I slept with Chud the Builder. Now, before I even get into this, I do want to state one thing. If you are a trans woman, I do want to state this. And it's a phenomenon that I've noticed. And if it's not you, I'm not specifically talking about you, but maybe you've noticed this. There are a lot of trans women that will sleep with violently racist, homophobic, sexist, and misogynistic men. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of goth girls that will be with violent, racist, sexist, and homophobic men. It's like that old meme. It was like the world's most racist man and his girlfriend, and it's like an indigenous woman. You know what I mean? It's that very same phenomenon. Now, you would say, well, why does this happen? What's going on? Well, and this is going to sound horrifying, and I got to state this as somebody that was on Grindr religiously. Sometimes you got to take what you can get. Sometimes you don't really experience love in the correct way. Sometimes it is very trauma-based. Sometimes you don't know the correct way to express yourself. Sometimes you're very frustrated and down there in your genitals and you don't know what to do. And that's fair. And sometimes you got to get through those rough patches to get through true love. I'm not going to a lot of people have been judging this woman here because, well, what does it say about you to sleep with a racist? Dude, you don't always know that who you're sleeping with is a racist. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know the people they're sleeping with a lot of the time. That happens a lot. You don't know that. It's as if some people think that you can have this mindset of, oh man, you should know everybody you sleep with. That's not even real. And I think it's because people think their human experience is the base universal human experience. So I'm not judging this woman for sleeping with Chud the Builder. I'm not. It happened. I'm pretty sure she's grown. Let's keep it pushing and keep it going. Let's talk about Chud the Chaser.
Yeah, so last year, May 2025, I Chud the Builder.
I'm sorry that you love me.
The immediate proof is phenomenal. The immediate proof is just beautiful. Just this opening in the video with the proof that they met. Just right here. This is good. This is beautiful. This is palpable. This is outstanding. And now we're going to get a lot more deeper info about this entire situation.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that.
So, I was gonna give y'all some ContraPoint.
I like the Tums in the beginning, proving proving that she's trans. Just all the hot girlies have tummy issues. Love that. That's beautiful. That's what I like to see. Only way to make this more palatable is to have just melty blood and a hyper pop. Just the laptop opens a hyper pop and then melty blood in the back, but Pokemon will do. I'll take that.
I don't know. It's just like, why? Because, girl, I should have made this video like in May. Instead, I've been working on it. And it's not like I don't have to actually say. The writing was important. The rest is not. And also, I'm never going to say this exactly the same as I would a year from now. In the end, it's just like, say it. That's for all my procrastinators out there. Okay. You good, Mike? Me talking to my dad. I've been seeing other girls and twinks and girl twinks talking about their experiences with Chud the Builder.
I'm gonna make this a lot easier for me. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab some headphones. Make it a lot easier for me. All right, back to it.
Experiences with Chud the Builder. And I feel like I need to talk about mine too, because I might have started it. I met him on Grindr, but that's not even like news at this point. Apparently we all fucked this dude. Before I take too much heat, he only mentioned that Nick Fuentes was a friend of his after our hookup. He knew he couldn't lead with the racism if he wanted to bag a trans. I'm not sure if he was a streamer yet. He had 1,000 Instagram followers on his Chud the Builder account, but it looked like workout stuff. I say I started it, and it's mostly a joke. He told me I was his first. We went out in May 2025. If anyone wants to cross-reference, I'm not bragging. I'd love to be wrong. Like, please, God, prove me wrong.
Well, I mean, it was known that he had homosexual tendencies or some capacity, or at least, and I'm not saying he's homosexual or even a trans one, by the way. We just knew that he had at least explored sexuality before because of the black woman. Hence why I put that in there, because I felt like it was going to come up that, oh, this is a new thing. No, this is just, it's a very well-documented thing throughout the entirety of it. It's very well-documented. Very well-documented.
Looking back, and especially after what we know now, he might have just been telling me what I wanted to hear or what he thought I wanted to hear. You know, chasers will do that. It's why dolls ask. They will flatter your insecurities until they get you into bed, then pick at them to make you stay. Guys like that see how low the bar is for T-girls, and what reason do they have to raise it? I get it though. I mean, one time I got so used to the DL treatment that I thought I loved a man just for door dashing his Taco Bell. But that's a different story.
And that's a very real phenomenon. It is a very real phenomenon to where you don't know correct love, or you don't know what it's like to experience just genuine love from someone that might actually love you, so you take what you can get. And it's a very real phenomenon that happens, especially when you've been repressed, or more so you haven't had the freedom to love as freely as you want to. And that's why love is so important to at least experience and feel, because if you don't know what love looks like, you end up cannibalizing it and treating it as a way to destroy your own self, and it ends up breaking you from the inside out, and you end up doing stuff like sleeping with the white supremacists, and people judge you because you were not loved properly. And that's what happens. And that's why I'm so adamant about allowing people to live their life the freest way they possibly can. You have to be wildly adamant about that, because if you repress that, then you get people who don't know how to love properly, and it's not taught to you how to actually choose a correct partner, or somebody that isn't a wild, vehement racist. You should just know. No, you can't just know. It's impossible to just know. You will make mistakes. That's the point of life, is to make mistakes and grow from those mistakes. It's a very important thing to do.
R.I.P. Jason. I mean, Zach. I forgot he gave me a fake name. Before we get too balls deep into Chud's tea, I know y'all are here for the butt sex, and trust me, like, it's pretty wild. But I'm making a YouTube video, not a TikTok, for a reason. I need to explain my side of the story, where I was in life that caused me to ignore his red flags.
Well, and that's fair. I think it's important to give some background and tea to this. This is pretty good. I mean, you went all 40 extra minutes, and I'm here for it. This video is going to be like an hour long. So, hey, strap in, everybody. We got some time. Let's get it.
And why I never stopped thinking about that beautiful TRT Groiper.
Oh my God. Is this Chud? I'm sorry. Who is it? I thought this was Chud for a moment. This caught me a little bit off guard. I'm going to mute all the music. There's music playing. I'm muting all the music by the way. This person caught me off guard. This collage threw me for a loop. This is beautiful. And I gotta give it I can tell that she edited herself because I don't know what it is about trans women. They're amazing with video editing and they're amazing with music. It's a whole thing. She's just godlike with it. So let's get on with it.
So, in March 2025, I went through a breakup with my mechanic boyfriend. When I started dating Miles, I was only 3 months on HRT. He was the first guy I went out with post-transition. Even back then, when I was indistinguishable from a cross-dresser, I'd noticed that the kind of men who were hitting me up were different from the gay men I pulled pre-transition. By the time my boyfriend was moving out of our house, I was almost 2 years on estrogen. If you know about hormones, 2 years is the most amount of physical changes. You're not done, but the next 2 to 4 years is like more subtle. You smooth out, basically. Since I was new to dating as a estrogenized trans woman, and because I was freshly single from like a long-term relationship, I thought it would be good to just date around, figure out what I liked and what worked. I was excited at first. I always hated being a gay dude because I never wanted to date gay guys. I was finally pulling like masculine trade. They were my type, and I was trying not to get an ego about it because while I was flattered that they were hot, I was finding out the hard way that most guys, like, they will never be seen with me in public. You know, being trans is humiliating in that way. It's just like self-image roller coaster. Men will say like, I want to marry you, whatever, just to cancel the first date and say, come over, I'm already in bed. I know they're just saying shit, but it's like, if I'm so hot, why can't you be seen with me?
It's very love bomb-esque. Very common tactic with just men in general to do that, just to say, wow, you know, you're so beautiful, you're my wife, you're the greatest thing that ever happened to me, and then just kind of boom, kind of drop it immediately. Very strange. It's a very interesting love bomb tactic. It's because a lot of men are thinking with just strictly their genitals. They're just thinking, my penis is stinking. It's just stupid. It's very strange. It's disgusting. If you're watching my video and you are embarrassed to be seen with a trans woman in any capacity, you're not welcome here. Just want to point that out. You're not welcome. Period. Let's keep pushing.
I don't know why. These are rhetorical questions. And that's while I'm like speed running like a second hormonal puberty in my late 20s. I'm in my early 30s now. It's embarrassing to learn lessons that most people figure out at 16, that men will say anything to sleep with you. You think I'd have learned it. You think I would know this going into it. And I guess kind of, but then you just get like treated so bad in public that you kind of forget, like, anyone saying anything good, you're like, oh my God, thank you. Oh my God. On top of that, you have to navigate being at the target of a culture war. It's better now. It gets better.
I appreciate Baby Jane for expressing all these things that a lot of people probably don't know. If you're a trans woman, if you're a trans man, if you've gone through this, if you've been gay, you probably know about what this is. They're all very distinctly different experiences, by the way. All are very, very distinctly different experiences. But yeah, this is very important. And this is, I want to talk about this as an aside for a second, because I'll probably do a lot of asides here. This is important because when I talk about gay white people in general, and this is important, people can't overtly tell that you're gay. Someone can probably guess you might be trans. Like my wife, for example, is not trans at all, right? It's my wife. She's not trans. She's born a woman, but because she has distinct features and she has distinct like facial features, and she's a very Eurocentric because she's from the Czech Republic. Like she's Czech. That's where she's from, and people are like, "Oh, that's foreign. You have very mannish features." It ostracizes her in certain aspects because people are scared of the possibility that she might be trans. Even the possibility gets you ostracized if there's something distinctly that someone able to tell. With, say, a gay white man that's probably closeted, or you just can't tell that he's gay, he does not wearing his gayness on his body, essentially, can't tell. Or if you're a gay woman, a lesbian, more so, can't tell. Cannot tell. Like, most people can't tell. So you can't escape that. Trans people have to live with this reality, their entire lives. Trans women, trans men, they have to live with that reality. They have to live with that. That's what they have to do. That's why a lot of trans people choose not to transition immediately until they're in a safe space, because they don't want to do the physical ostracization process that comes with being trans because of the culture and societal implications that are had right now. It's a horrifying reality. It's very horrifying.
I'm saying this like that because I'm like, I did just go outside and the fucking cashier was a fucking bitch at the quesadilla place. I'm used to being greeted with fear and disgust.
Shout out the quesadilla place.
Just to have someone's husband wink at me when no one's watching. When I started going out with Miles, the difference was very clear. I mean, like, I'd still catch people giving me the trans stare, but I knew they wouldn't say anything. It's kind of funny because sometimes it was just him being a big, burly guy, but other times there was clearly some kind of misogyny thing going on. Like, they would say something, but held their tongue out of respect for him. Well, his girlfriend is a busted crossdresser, but that's his choice. They're like, I would kill her, but what about her man? Dude, well, we used to fucking joke. If he killed me, the cops would come and they would like see me and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. You know how it goes with people like that, like, are you okay? I always appreciated him because he did see it. Dude, friends love to be like, it's in your head.
So I've seen people comment on specifically this part a lot, and I gotta say this right now. Sometimes, if you're in a horrifying situation, for instance, I'll give you an example. I was essayed by a woman when I was 22, 23, and then I give them my other ages, 9, 13, 16. I can give them all, I give all the things. But I was essayed by a woman when I was 22, 23, around that range. I had just went through a very tragic moment in my life. I always talk about my life. I lost one of my best friends. I had lost him. It's horrifying. And so I was in a downtrodden state, and I was very emotionally weak. And I was just very physically weak at the time. I just wasn't eating right. I was very distraught. And my friend wanted to come over, and I got essayed by one of my closest friends. Horrifying moment. Horrifying. It was terrifying. I make jokes about it all the time. I don't know what else to do. Realistically, that's I just don't know what to do. You sometimes got to make a lot of your situation and make it manageable. So seeing people just be very angry about this person, about her making these jokes, it's just, that's what you got to do sometimes to get past it. That's life. That's just life. I'm not gonna judge her for that. That's just life.
In your head, you're just hypersensitive. It's like, people treat me like fucking shit, bro. Basically, Miles would see it, and he was there for me. I guess what I'm getting at is, so much of my life revolved around a man who was proud to be seen with me that I underestimated the amount of shame I was going to be subjected to in dating. I started to rack up bad experiences. By early May, the excitement of dating was wearing off. I had met like one good man in a sea of chasers, and I realized all this energy I spent running around with them was like me not trying to be sad about my breakup. I missed my ex. I missed his dog and the happy family. I know that's some corny, but then one morning I woke up to a message on Instagram from Miles's mom. He'd gone out the night before to a small park on the lake near their house. People at a restaurant heard like an altercation and they called the cops. But by the time the cops got there, someone shot him. This is why I wanted to talk about it in context to Chud the Builder. Grief is so weird, and trauma is delayed. When you've nearly forgotten about it, when you think you've finally gotten through it, it creeps up on you. I thought that I'd been through enough loss and hard times in my life, I could handle it. I thought continuing to push ahead in spite of it meant I was doing good. Girl, I didn't need to crash out. What the hell? Like, I've been in therapy for 5 years. And in hindsight, it just hadn't hit me yet.
What a horrifying. That's just horrifying. Best I can say is sorry. That's a horrifying experience. Insane. That is insane. Truly tragic backstory. The title is Tragic Backstory. Truly correct. That is aptly accurate. I would not I mean, I've been through some stuff, but you've been through some hell. That's insane. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, girl. Sorry about that.
You know, sometimes I wonder if I did more damage trying to keep it together than if I just like been a up wreck for a few months. I think more so I like prolonged the crash out. All of it is like I need to stop avoiding my emotions, you know? I learned that lesson at fucking like 16, 18. Just being alive is like relearning the same lessons over and over. Kind of sucks. Like I feel stupid. So I met Chud the Builder a month after my ex passed when I was LARPing as Fine and continuing my tranny hoe phase. Chud showed up looking buff, beautiful, with his chaser trait and mustache. It flattered me. It's kind of sad that he was the only man in my DMs talking like a normal person.
Dude, if you've ever been on Grindr, just if you download it for 5 seconds, it's just a goatsy immediately, just an open starfish immediately, or it's just phallic member. Hey, tired about it. It's just nobody wants to have a conversation. It's just hook up. It's really demoralizing, to be quite honest with you. But and this is a slight at men, I suppose. I guess that's what happens when you have a platform primarily of, men. When you think about it, it's Grindr is for gay men. When you have a platform primarily of men, you're gonna get a lot of men who are men. Best way I can describe it. That's the best way I can describe it.
But he was. I don't know what dating apps do to people's social skills. Like it's not just a Grindr thing. Chud was funny. We talked about Pokemon and being losers. He talked a lot about being autistic, which caught me off guard. One of the sweetest things he said to me was about his fitness. He said, I'm kind of like you. I changed myself into the person I wanted to be. And the empathy in that from a chaser really floored me.
That, unironically, beautiful sentiment. Unironically, a beautiful sentiment.
I'm used to hearing a defense of trans people in a more middling way. Like, they don't understand it, but they can tolerate it. Like,
You can do whatever you want.
If you want to destroy your body and be an ugly freak, that's your right.
Chud's analogy to fitness was positive and non-judgmental. It's closer to how I actually feel about being trans. I transitioned to make my life better, not just for aesthetics, a fetish, or whatever fucking rage bait reason they thought of this month to impose on us. When he hit me up, I asked if he bottomed. I don't know why he said this. Basically, like, he said,
I'm a top. I've never bottomed. I don't want to bottom. Like, I don't do any of that gay shit.
And I don't know if it was, like, my fault. Because back then I was like, I don't like bottoms. And I mean, bottom chasers are a thing. And girl, I'm 6'2". Like, I feel like it was just me. Like, I'm so HSTS, bitch. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm only a bottom. Girl, you don't even know how to bottom. Not true. But yeah, I've topped some dudes. Especially now that we know we got pegged. It's like, it was either cope or it was a lie. I feel like it was a lie. Because I feel like that's why he was looking for a tranny. But at the same time, like, there was a point in our hookup when my hands got too close to his ass. And he, like, moved them away. So I'm like, if you wanted to bottom, why not let me finger in it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what I'm saying?
well, let me put a finger in it. Come on. Look, the nail's broken off. Easy. Okay.
Back on track. No, we're not.
But I asked if he reciprocated, you know? And he said, I mean, I love going down on girls, so, like, I don't see why not. Okay, that's hot. Again, he acted like a normal person. He hit all my green flags, at least at the time, where it's like, he treated me like a normal girl, agreed to be seen with me in public, wasn't pushy about pictures. When he agreed to take me out,
I do want to state that this happens a lot with dating apps in general. It's my biggest issue with dating apps overall. It's you put your best traits on there and then hope someone grabs it. Now, here goes how you play dating apps on hard mode. If you think dating apps are too easy, put your worst traits on there and see if you still get somebody. When I was on dating apps, I would only put things that I was horrifying at. I would immediately put, hey guys, I'm 4'8". I'm not 4'8". I have horrible. I just say horrible things about me. Just everything bad you could say about a man, I put down there just to see if anybody would catch, and it worked very well actually. They said this can't be true, and I said maybe it is. Come find out. It was just insane. It would work. It would work 9 times out of 10. It was amazing. I loved it so much. Maybe they just want to see if I was lying or seeing the chaoticness of it. But usually, upon meeting me, they enjoy my presence, and that's usually what happened. But it's the beginning stages, the talking, the charisma, the treating the person like a person part. Man, when you get nothing but PP pictures and men just saying, "Whoa, look at that rack, this is crazy," and then you get one guy that's slightly human, man, it is a game changer. Oh my goodness! Imagine you spend your entire life eating literal rat piss, and then one day you get a glass of water. Whoa! Might be the best drink you've ever had. It's the Denji effect. I don't know if you've seen Chainsaw Man. It's the Denji effect. I've had nothing my entire life, and then I finally want toast with jam. It's good. Toast with jam's amazing. Bada bing, bada boom.
He said, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. My town hates me. They're always screenshotting my grinder, calling me gay and shit just because I'm autistic. I was like, damn, that sucks. It's just funny how he framed it in hindsight. Baby, like, they're doing that because you're, like, racist. Like, you go into places and say the N-word. Not because you're on grinder and autistic.
Because if so, baby, like, guilty.
And okay, like, I think I do want to talk about it, but I'm kind of sick of it, of the, like, R-Trap's gay argument. I can tell when a dude's fucking gay. I was fucking gay, dude. I know these dudes are not gay. I can clock it. And it's just annoying. Like, even in woke ways, people will try to be like, yeah, like, you're a woman, but, like, not really. Like, bro, all these dudes are, like, they're attracted to femininity. One dude, like, I'd be like, oh, I gotta take my estrogen or whatever. And they're like, that's so hot. They're straight and, like, attracted to the difference between me and them. Heterosexual, attracted to difference. It's like hyper feminine to them because it's like I started in the same place that they did. You know, whatever. Read me, whatever. I don't give a. You can call Chud gay. To me, I just call him trade. At least back in the day, it's like a man who will receive head, femboys, tranny on the DL, but doesn't reciprocate. But these days, it's kind of just like any straight dude. And he's a femboy. Like, he's down. I feel like that's a good word for that. I guess it's like ball culture or whatever. Sorry, they came up with a good word. You know, black people came up with trade. White people came up with gynosexual. Ew. Girl, he ain't trying to smash my gyno. I'm so sorry.
She gives me the impression that she might not be cool with the newer gay people. I don't know what it is. She gives me the impression that she's not cool with the newness of the LGBTQ, but understands her journey very adequately. It's very interesting. I love when I encounter this. This is where a lot of friction happens within the journey of introspections, because, and this is a very deep aside, I feel as though with the LGBTQ, your journey, it is a part of community. Community is very important because you need community to believe in yourself and to actually have people that follow you and support you. But it is also a very deep journey of introspection. There are a sizable chunk of the LGBTQ that will change themselves, not like transition. I don't think people would. There are people that would transition just for the love of the game, but there aren't people in mass that would transition for the love of the game. There are people that will say, "Oh, well, I'm queer adjacent" or something like that, right? Just be a part of the LGBTQ as a form of retaliation against whatever upbringing they had. You would be absolutely shocked by the amount of people that are part of the LGBTQ that have family that are just wildly conservative, and they themselves have just 20 plus years of conservative backing that they have to unlearn, and they are learning a newness with it, and they are trying to find this journey themselves. I give a lot of people grace in the LGBTQ because I know a lot of them are unlearning a lot of just conservatism because of their family. I grasp it and I understand it. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a side there, but I felt like it was a good point. That's just keep going.
I don't know, like, I've seen what happens when men come out as dating trans women. My ex, like, whenever he posted pictures of us, I mean, he lost so many friends. It does suck. I don't think any straight man is fully secure in their sexuality enough to just be like, yeah, I'm a straight dude and I'm sure
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, true. There's not a single straight man that is. There's not a single one that is.
there's some base dudes like that, you know? But if they're woke, they have to be like, I'm queer. I'm like, no, you're not. I hear all these stories from these bisexual men who are like, I date women, I date trans women.
I tried to f a dude, but my heart's just not in it.
Me and this girl have had such similar experiences.
I just couldn't. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like, because you're not gay. You're trying to take the trans women are men argument and you're trying to make it woke. And that's based. No, that's why the premise doesn't fit. I have never had a dude f me and then he goes, fucks dudes. I guess Chud did that. I mean, I don't know. He apparently sent like nudes to Dwing's site. I have not looked into it. I just know he got pegged by a cis girl. Most of these men, they're attracted to femininity, but Chud's like the kind of dude who took it to like the extreme. Obviously, like he was a groiper. They think like feminism has ruined females. They all just act like fucking dudes now. Trans women and femboys, they're the only people who want to act feminine. He sent me these texts with his baby.
Oh my goodness, that's such a man. I knew about that, but that's so real though, because when you're a femboy, you are acting feminine. Trans women have to put on essentially an air of femininity in order to pass, even if they do feel women. And by the way, if you're a trans woman, you don't have to if you don't want to. It's your call. It's your introspective journey. But man, that's so real, man. She's smart. She's smart as hell. I ain't gonna hold you. Smart as hell. That's insane. Smart, insanely smart.
Baby mama, who was Latina, months later after a date. She said, go live happily ever after with a dude. Get him, girl. And then he said, back in the day, when women were made to be feminine, that's when society was the best and the least gay shit occurred. Every time women get out of hand, let's go back to the Roman days and dudes who are more femme than their fat girlfriends are. Women are so manly, dudes would rather fuck a femboy than come home to their GF. Bitches who act like dudes will call men gay for fucking femboys who are more feminine than they are, in quotes.
How dare you not want to come home, man with a pussy?
Sorry, babe, I'd rather fuck a girl with a dick than an N-word with a mid-T like yours.
It's what an insane bar. It's not even unfortunately a bar. It's just evil. It's just purely wildly evil. It's horrible. She's transphobic and just speaking out of hate, and then he's just messed up. They deserve each other. Well, holy moly, they deserve each other. Him and his baby mama deserve each other.
Cry laughing emoji. My friend made a good point where she's like, yeah, bro, like you really owned your baby mama. I know it's like not base, like it's very misogynist. Just say you think it's hot, bro. Like, that's all. It doesn't have to be this whole thing. Women are not less feminine because of feminism. I'm so sorry. It has never been like, yeah, go work and become a man. Even since the 70s, it's like, you should be able to do what you want. So I revisited Laverne Cox drama because I was like, I don't want to get canceled. This is way worse than dating a MAGA cop. But I'm kind of convinced, like, unfortunately, maybe a white bitch needs to say this. Most of the men I've dated have been conservative. Most of the dudes, though, are not Chud the Builder. Like, they are normies about it. Him being vaguely Republican was not a red flag. There were some things that made me suspicious. He said he was no fap, but I always get in this argument with the one woke chaser I date. He is like, why are you always dating conservatives? I'm not trying to. This is just the men who I attract. A lot of it has to do with these men think about their masculinity as much as like trans women think about like femininity, and they're attracted to that contrast. And so you tend to attract these like patriarchs who are hyper masculine. And Chud is just the Groiper version of that. I mean, and also just like being Y'all can't see my fucking tattoos in this video. Being an alt girl, you attract the cops. And being a tranny, you attract Republicans. So I just hit the start streaming button. Burzum hoodie to destroy any credibility I might have. Yes, I'm wearing a Burzum hoodie. No, y'all don't know who that is, but you'll Google it and then you're good. You can hate me. I wish I was that bad of a bitch, but I'm like, no, I'm not actually. Like, I'm pussy. I'm pussy. I've been putting this video off because I'm so scared. We met at a pizza place near my house. When he got out of the truck, it smelled like straight weed. He was taller than me. And when you're like a 6'2" tranny, it stands out. I could feel the intensity radiating off of him. He had a darkness to him, as thick as the cloud of blunt smoke. When we
What's so poetic and palpable? I love it. I love the poeticness. Thank you so much for painting a visual.
were walking into the restaurant, he turned to me and said, like he'd almost forgotten.
You're very beautiful, by the way.
It was in this tone, like he was admitting it. I said, thank you. You're hot. And he dismissed it. At the restaurant, I clocked that he was only drinking bottled water. It kind of hit me. Oh, you don't drink fluoride. And he kind of mumbled about it being feminizing. And I guess he saw the look I made because he said, like, you can keep drinking it. Which, I mean, I thought that was really funny.
Fluoride is I'm sorry. What 7 layers of internet conspiracy separation did I miss? What hotep flat earth garbage did I miss about fluoride being feminizing? What? That's insane. What? I'm not gonna get into that. We're gonna keep going.
After that, I was kind of connecting the dots that, like, I think this dude is a groiper. That, plus his intensity, worried me enough to be second guessing my choice to invite him into my house. When we left, the hostess was glaring at me. She's just like staring at me with like shock. She just has to let me know that she has an opinion about me. I've been there a few times and I told him that, like I said, like, that bitch always gives me the fucking tranny stare. He thought that was funny. He was like, she's a fat bitch. In the moment, I'm not gonna say like it felt bad. I'm just so used to being bullied. I would never do that to someone else. And so just that people will do it to me, and to have this big dude not stand up for me, but like be on my side, like, felt good. But I'm like, he just hates women. He's dating me because he hates women. I was talking earlier about like,
that's so real. There's so many. I think everybody should watch this video in totality because there's so many wild things. I feel like this is just regular stuff for the average trans woman, but I feel like people don't listen to trans women enough. I feel like I'm a filter for a lot of people when it comes to a lot of issues about the LGBTQ, because a lot of people see me as, oh, you're so able to speak about these things. It reminds me of the way I feel about white men and white allies is they act as a filter for me to get through a lot of things that I can't do as a black man. Because there are things I can't do as a black man that I have to acknowledge, but it's as if I'm a filter somehow. It feels strange. It feels strange. Please go subscribe to this lovely woman and follow her. I feel as though she deserves it. This is outstanding work overall.
how woke people will be like, yeah, like you're a woman, but well, the like non-woke thing is like, he likes me because I'm not a woman, or because he doesn't see me as a woman. He thinks I don't have these hangups. He thinks that all males keep their like resentment towards like females. And I'm just like, I've never really had that. Like, I've always loved women. I've always been drawn to women because I'm a fucking girl. I took the selfies of us in the parking lot. When he was asking me, are we going to your house? I was just like joking, brushing him off. Like I kept telling him, you kind of got that Ted Bundy stare. He said like, oh, come on. I basically decided like I couldn't get out of it now. And he was too hot. It's kind of sad that I gave up my morals for, but girl, what morals? I mean, not being racist. Now I'm done rambling about all my stupid shit. Here.
To be quite honest with you and fair, and this is just a thing, Chud the Builder isn't oppressively ugly. He's just racist. All right? And to a lot of people, right, racism is not a deal breaker. I've discovered this with a lot of people that I know. Racism is not really a deal breaker for a lot of people. And that's, your preference. If racism is not a deal breaker, okay, it's fine by me. It's your call. You love who you want to love. If racism is not a deal breaker, c'est la vie, such is life,
Here's the actual tea about my hookup with Chud the Builder. Also, just throwing this out there, like, I try not to kiss and tell, especially on the internet. I don't say names on the internet if anyone wants to hook up with me. But special exemption if he's on trial for murder or he died. I don't make the rules. Like low key, it's like the People's Court. It was court ordered by T-Spill. Isn't that like a dead channel? Anyway, I invited him to my home. He was 15 minutes after me, texted me saying, I have to roll another blunt. When I was writing this and I got to this portion, I was like, I'm kind of just writing like Groiper Yowie. And so I'm just gonna I hate that word, but pretend it's like a spicy TikTok book you got at Barnes & Noble. No, they're out of business, right? At books where printed media is sold.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
But anyway, I just felt like corny, writing this shit out. We ended up in my living room. I must have been showing him something because he was sitting in a chair near my computer. I think he grabbed my ass when I was walking by. I ended up straddled in his lap and we started making out. It was hot and we can feel our...
The voice got 10 times more sensual. So what is this? All right, let's keep pushing.
Touch. My eyes were closed as I felt his arms tighten around me. Instinctively, I clung to him while he stood up. He picked me up so effortlessly I felt weightless, a sensation I'd forgotten somewhere in childhood. He carried me over to the couch and laid me down. He was on top of me then, as we continued kissing, only stopping after he unbuttoned my pants. He wanted to watch as he took them off, and reflexively commented,
You're wearing sexy shit.
When he saw the vinyl thong I was wearing. Then he went for it. I love watching a dude's face during the reveal. Bro, this Y2K ass book. It's one of those fake diaries, Dear Alice or Crank. This is Tranny Crank. He cranked a tranny. Oh my god. But stop. I love watching a dude's face during the reveal. I get chills just thinking about the look of wanting mixed with a little bit of shock and disbelief in their eyes. Because despite pursuing this experience, part of their lizard brain that's attracted to me as a woman isn't expecting to find that there. That feeling I see in their eyes of wires getting crossed, swords getting crossed, two hot dogs touching. I just gotta stop booming the mic. Boom. I blew her out. Ooh, he blew me out. Oh my god. And in that moment, I know that feeling of wires getting crossed, reflected in their eyes. It's the same feeling that makes people either chase us or hate us. Anyway is just such an unsexy word. Anyway, he went down on me until his clothes were off, and he gestured for me to reciprocate. Remember how I said he was nofap and smoked a lot of blunts? Well, that first round didn't last very long. I'd never done this before, but in that moment, I let him on my face. I realized then that some things should be kept a fantasy. Because being nofap, it was so much, and it tasted like a bitter ashtray.
I hate that I know the exact taste. I hate that. I despise I know the exact taste. I know exactly what it tastes. It's like batteries, dude. It's like just poor diet. There's no fruits, not a single vegetable in there at all. It's insane. It's just really, really bad. Just the Bass Deferens did not go crazy. It's just, I know exactly what it is. It's the worst. It is genuinely the worst.
I swear to God, there was a hint of weed in it. Like I licked the resin out of a bong. I didn't even know that was a thing. It tasted like fucking weed. And it was a lot on my face. I toweled off and we took a break. He laid on the couch while I made him listen to Ethel Cain. What? You knew? How'd you clock it?
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, stop. Oh my god. Y'all, I'm so crazy. Y'all, parking was a nightmare. It was not just like parking, it was getting out of there. Your girl was sprinting. Oh, look at that guy's forehead. Oh, y'all, see if y'all can get into a concert with us. Y'all, please. That's just funny. Oh, I want to show y'all that. That's me and my friend. That was me and my friend after the concert. Guys, it was so cold in that amphitheater, and we were dressed like hoes. There was like a really hot dude staring at me too. I'm pretty sure he was like getting his girlfriend or something, but we like made eye contact. Like he was like, because it was like so cold. Like, or I found Juanita. She was like, I'm freezing, bitch. And that's when that hot dude looked at me. Ooh, and then that's me at the Waffle House after. Now you get it in context. That's why I only have videos of this, right? That's so me for real.
Okay, I'll stop. This is not helping homegirl's allegations, but you know, that's not my job to run PR for her. Except it is, because I'm like low-key, like Stan Army, but okay, Chud the Builder loved Ethel Cain, verified Ethel Cain and Joy Air. Oops. You know, before he killed somebody, like, I wanted him to find some
That's a bit of a drastic thing. I don't think anybody's lost their life because of them yet, but that's just funny. That's funny.
clinically deranged TTTT 4chan bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, crusty ass, Roiper, dog girl, tranny, and they could just like live like their insane lives together. You could be not gay and she could be T for T, you know, like TRT for trans. I mean, he is kind of like clavicular in that way, you know, he's like male to male trans. And that's the thing. I mentioned 4chan and he called them like retarded incels or some which fair, like you clocked me, baby, but I grew up on 4chan. Like, I know why it has a bad.
See, I was right. See, like, that's it's just, I said in the beginning in my little side rant, it's just a very, very real thing. It's very real thing. It's very real. It's very real. It's just real.
Rap. I used to be disgusted like with the shit I saw on it in 2016, but not every board on 4chan was like that. In the 2000s, the culture was very edgy, but in like a left-wing fucking way, where they were like edgy atheists, which later, you know, got co-opted by skeptics or whatever. It's like, I wouldn't say like 4chan was like progressive, and a lot of the hate that 4chan gets is from the politics board. I was on there when I was like 11, but I was a fucking loser on the Pokemon board. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was on the drawing boards. There was not crazy racist shit. Like, I remember the day they made the LGBT board. So I'm not defending 4chan or Gropers. I always thought like, oh, maybe he's like more on like that Andrew Tate kind of shit or whatever. Whenever clavicular popped off, like I was like, oh my god, that's what Dalton is. Whatever space between, that's where Chud the Builder is. Clavicular of Clarksville. Also, just clarifying, he stopped texting me after I sent him come down clips. So who's more based? Am I the asshole? Basically, I had to like realize like I can't deprogram this dude. And I would tell him like, no, we can't talk about politics. We just shouldn't talk about this, because it's like, you're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to convince you either, because a lot of that stuff, it's not logical. Like, it's not.
To be fair, yeah, I guess to a point where a lot of my guy friends will never talk shop with me about a lot of specific things, mostly because they know I do YouTube and they know that I talk about my life a lot, so they don't want to do that. But sometimes I'll hear their real opinion about something because I'll state something slightly adjacent to it. I'll give an example. This is the best way I can describe it. I had asked one of my friends. This is my favorite question to ask anybody. I had said, so would you sacrifice your pride and your morals to make sure your family is safe and financially secure? And he said, well, yeah, if my family's going to be safe, but what do you mean you sacrifice my pride and my morals? I said, I can give you an example. He said, okay. I said, would you suck a phallic member for $1 billion? He said, no. I said, not $1 billion? Really? He said, yeah, I wouldn't do that. I said, women do it for free. He said, yeah, but I'm not a girl. And you'll hear stuff like that. It's very that. I don't have to be gay for money. Okay, cool. I guess you'll be working the rest of your life. I suppose it's okay. It's whatever. It's just stuff like that. Stuff like that. It's a lot of sentiments in that variety where I could get their political takes by asking very, I guess, Socratic method of questioning. If you don't know what the Socratic method of questioning is, you know Jujutsu Kaisen, you know Toto when he asks what's your kind of women, and then you can get an answer by another answer if you figure it out, because a lot of things factor in based on how you answer with one question. You can figure out how someone is. It's a big reason. The Socratic method of questioning is actually a big reason why a lot of people feel so confused by, I guess, the moral consistency fallacy. If you don't know what the moral consistency fallacy is, it's okay, so you support women's rights, why don't you support pro-choice? It's like, well, I just think all life is valuable. Women deserve the right to choose whatever they want to do. Those two things don't align correctly. So you have that bit of a disconnect with consistency or moralities. And it's why if someone hears, oh, well, you support this, so you should support this. That's not always true. It's humans are contradictory creatures. It's a moral consistency fallacy. It's a very, very common phenomenon. But I digress. Let's continue on with this video. Sorry about that. It came to my mind.
Line it up, you believe it. Like, it's emotional. He was a damaged person who attached himself to Nick Fuentes to make himself feel better, you know? Whatever the fuck he did. It destroyed his brain. It ate him from the inside out. It made him so paranoid.
An amazing edit.
Anyway, back to Ethel, the builder. I remember telling him, and she's trans. And he is kind of like, he ribbed me.
Here I was thinking she had a pussy.
Also, like, at some point, he said, do you like Lana? Like, you look like Lana Del Rey. Please don't come for me. I know I'm ugly, okay? I hate myself. Don't come for my looks. I mean, do whatever
You're not ugly.
you want. Kill me. Like, I don't care. I'm just saying, like, I do not have an ego. I go outside and I get, like, spit on. Like, you don't have to tear me down more. Like, but I was, like, thinking about it where I'm like, damn, real masculine top behavior being like,
You look like Lana.
we cuddled on my couch and made out. I've struggled finding a good word for what happened next. Because I think, like, simulated sex, it's too vague, and frauding is too specific. But at some point, I put it between his thighs. Not his ass, unfortunately. We were, like, kissing. He flexed his legs together, which it's funny from, like, Mr. I'm not a gay bottom. When it's like, we all know now, like, he got pegged by Black women, so, like, I don't know why he fronted so hard as a top, especially to a tranny. Fronting is a good word. Like, I remembered this. Like, this came back to me. What we did was kind of more gay. Like, bruh, you just got your chud pounded. What else have you got to lose? Like, just flip over. Why am I losing my voice? I felt like Dalton wanted a trainee trad wife. We talked a lot about his job. I don't think he ever asked about mine. Several times after doing things for him, he called me a good girl. It was hot, like, don't get me wrong, but there was something unnerving about it. As corny as it sounds, I wondered what would happen if I was a bad girl. Chud was very intense. Ted Bundy stare and all that. He was bigger than me. And he would switch from being overly affectionate to annoyed and angry. Later down the road, he would neg me over text like, I miss your big forehead. And if I pushed back, he excused it.
You know I love you.
Which for one date, he said I love you like a few times. I said it back. I didn't want to get murdered. Maybe I did mean it. I feel like we both meant it a little bit because we were broken fucking people. I wondered all night while we were kissing, laying next to him in the TV's ambient light, what continuing this would look like. Every observation pointed to it being physically, or at the very least, emotionally painful. I can never know. I make no allegations. While we were kissing and afterwards, laying next to him in the TV's ambient light, what continuing this would look like. Every observation pointed to it being physically, or at the very least, emotionally painful, and I can never know. I'm making no allegations. But that's what I felt. Love bombing to the negs to calling me a good girl. It all felt a little bit threatening. I wondered all night, but what scared me more than any of that was I kind of wanted to find out. I felt lured into his darkness by my own self-destruction, my own self-destructive curiosity. The second half of our night was more blurry. I remember us during a pause in action, all of his weight on top of me. I heard Western Nights playing in the background. I'd always skip that song until that night when I'll just fucking say it. Like, it's funny because it was like mid 69. A particular lyric from it struck me. An embarrassing admission, another one from this video. It put all of my thoughts from that night to perspective, and I can't hear that song without thinking about him. We finished. He kissed me goodbye. The rest of the year, I dodged his texts and messages.
And that experience is very important to talk about, I think, because there are a lot of people that hyperfixate on a very physical interaction with another person because of the emotions that they both feel, or at least one person feels within it, because of the trauma of not getting that experience for so long. It creates a very unhealthy moment in just within people. It's very horrifying. If you do the bare minimum with a person, you might actually permanently affect them forever. It's a lot. It's very intense. And I don't blame her for having that bond with somebody that just did that. Just that felt very sensual the entire way through. It just what it felt like.
But I didn't feel safe or confident enough to block him. I wanted to stay on good terms from a distance. I didn't want him to feel rejected. He had my address, and I didn't want him to think the only way to reach me was to show up. I stayed curious about him too. It wasn't just him. I've been skating around this. I did like him a lot, honestly. He was very attractive. He was very funny. In his own way, he was sweet. More than the fear was I knew I shouldn't be dating a groiper. Everyone unanimously, of course, told me, no, don't date this dude. That's crazy. I don't want to take on the burden because I'm not a groiper and I'll never be a groiper or a neo-Nazi or a fucking white nationalist or whatever the they call it. I'm not gonna lie and say I wasn't tempted when he did message me. I think that's why I sent him all those calm down clips, which he was not a fan of. Like, oh my god, please just stop being a Nazi for me and like we'll be happy. He can't change me into a groiper tranny trad wife, and I can't change him into a fucking leftist chaser king.
Chaser king. That's funny.
He wanted me to come to him in Clarksville, but I was always like working. But I remember he sent me like, I swear it was like from an article, like a local newspaper, a photo of his house, which was like a little tiny home cabin. He was like, they call it my little racist shack. Come hang out with me in my shack. I think he's gonna make a steak. I'm like, fuck, it sounds worth it. I love steak. Can you tell I don't have a red line when I'm like, steak sounds so fucking good. Yes, baby, I will be there in your little.
It's so important to hear stuff like this because this is important to me because she's the kind of people that I know personally. Like my friend group was interwoven with strictly people that are this. I almost exclusively don't hang out with people that aren't specifically, at least to this degree, this. I feel most comfortable with people that are this. That might explain a lot of why my life is just in shambles, but I feel most comfortable with people that are this. Because this sounds like I'm talking to one of my friends. I don't know. This seems like a really good friend of mine is how I feel about this entire thing so far. But like I heard this many times before. Yeah, it sounds normal to me. That doesn't sound out of pocket. It just doesn't sound out of pocket to me.
Little racist shack. Epilogue next. Got a fucking cavity. Epilogue. Chud the prisoner. I say all of that, but still, I am not defending him. When I first started making this, way too long ago, when all this first happened, when I first found out and first started hearing about him from my friends on Chapo Trap House and Hassan and whatever the fuck, my friend, she was like, there's some other Nashville Chud is running around. Kind of looks like your Nick Fuentes trade. I never called him Chud the Builder. I knew that was his Instagram name. I always called him Nick Fuentes trade. And I was like, what's his name? We were walking like my jaw like 3 blocks down. Like that shit was crazy. And I was like, gotta talk about this. Like, been thinking about him before he was Chud the Builder. He was always kind of like this story that I told people, like, just like blew their minds. But I've been kind of like putting it off because I'm like scared. Yeah, I just gotta stop being a pussy. I gotta just say it. All of that to say, when I first started making this, I was worried that his fans would dox me. But the more I saw about him, the more I realized he's not really a part of anything. He's a lolcow, a rare bipartisan one at that. Even his favorite catboy gooner, Destiny Fellatio receiver, Nick Fuentes, denounced him. It's kind of crazy he scared me off with a dude who called him a retard hurting the Groyper movement. Even this video is just adding to the pile of Chud humiliation content. He's not inspiring the right into a race war. He's Lily Tino for Groypers.
What an insane statement.
Do I need to explain that? Okay, trans people are the biggest Lily Tino haters because they're like, you make us fucking look bad. We don't need another Dylan Mulvaney. Stop this before you make us more of a laughing stock, basically, and you're ugly or whatever. And it seems to me like Chud is that for Groypers because they're like, look, you're just like making everything worse for us. This is not gonna solve this problem. I mean, Nick Fuentes isn't stupid. That's the thing. Like, he knows that you got to change the system or whatever. You can't just individually go around saying slurs until whatever happens, you know. While making this video, I've been reconciling 2 things. The first is, why am I even making this video? I think I vaguely started out with a hope to do something by bringing this to light. But I mean, the black girl who pegged him made the critical hit. He's going to prison as the racial slur streamer who got pegged by black girls and cross-dressed. I really don't think I can do more damage than that. At this point, I have more to lose by admitting this than he does. But also, maybe that's a good thing.
I don't even remember writing this. I'm like, what did I say, girl? Oh my God. D.
I'm an art hoe for life. I can't stop trying to make sense of things. So maybe the temperature being lowered means that Chud can be less of the focus and more of the framing device for all the things I've been thinking about the past few years.
I wish my brain shut up, but nah.
If you think I'm rambly though, like, feel bad for my friends who take my PDF-length quadruple texts raw. The second thought I'm working through is even less concrete. Why was I so hung up on him out of all the guys I met last year? He's the hookup I thought about the most. It's not really just how hot he was. Yo, look at this last selfie he sent me, actually, from a new faceless Grindr profile.
I'm gonna find it.
Look at this fucking picture. He's so hot. I had to go digging
Thanks for letting us see that.
through the text to find it, and I knew I'd sent it to my friend, but I fucking screamed when I saw what she had said. Like, Dalton started messaging me on Grindr again. She said, LMAO, why the fuck is he pretty? If he wasn't like a future murderer, I'd be lit as fuck for you. Shout out my girl for being an oracle, I guess. I sent that to her. She's like, on God, I never miss.
And then I said,
Neither did Chud, unfortunately. When he was relaxed, he was sweet. I still can't help but think that he showed me the real Dalton. Etherly, not Chud the Builder or whatever. I don't know how deliberate the contrast was. I know that negging is a real strategy. It's like textbook manipulation. But I also know that abuse typically isn't deliberate, as in abuse is a pattern created from stunted emotional developments, mental illness, clinginess. It's unintentional. No one lives their life thinking they're the bad guy. Evil doesn't require an intention. Whatever it was, it worked on me. He was a big, beautiful, rabid dog who showed me his belly, and I clung to the memory of him sprawled, hands behind his head, on my couch, saying, "You have a really cool vibe here." I never saw him again, but in my own wounded loneliness, I always wondered what would happen if I took him back. Every chud needs a troon. After all, it's hard for me to see clips of him now. They're vile, but more than that, there's no light behind his eyes. Please don't take any of this as an excuse. He's still not the victim, but it's sad to see that his brainworms were terminal. Hatred like that, paranoia, phobia, gets in through a wound. Chud was mentally ill. The pall of darkness he carried was palpable. Whatever cold comfort
Words aren't real. Explain this. Sorry, caught me off guard.
he got from being a groiper destroyed him in the end. I don't know what his wound was, but there is some sympathy I feel in that. In the same way, I have sympathy for the guy who shot my boyfriend. 2 lives were destroyed when Miles died. Of course, it's hard to watch the vitriolic, stupid racism in his videos. But just underneath that, I'm unsettled by the death drive that he had. Eerie, like watching a live streamed suicide. I don't know what the future behind bars holds for Chud. Probably a lot more bottoming, unfortunately, but it's downhill whatever it is, because it can always get worse. And that's the video. Let me know if y'all to Chud. I know it was a lot more people than talked about it.
So this was a very beautiful, I think it was a lovely video, and I do empathize with the empathy that she's showing for Chud at the very end, just showing empathy for another person despite the evil and vitriolic anger that you may have for him as a totality. I find it very sad. Even in my videos about Chud, I showed overwhelming empathy because I find the situation to be very sad overall as just a whole coalescing standpoint. If you want to watch the original video, I'm pretty sure I put it in the top comment. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm 90% sure I did. I hope I did. But with that being said, I don't have much to say that I didn't say already throughout the video, so my entire process is this. I don't blame her for sleeping with a racist. I think many people have slept with a racist before. I think your mom might be sleeping with a racist. Who knows? I'm not quite sure. I think that a lot of people will trauma bond with somebody because they don't experience the true love that they really want to experience throughout life. That's just a very regular experience with a lot of trans people in general. They just don't experience real love because of the ostracization of being trans in totality. It's a very horrifying thing. It's probably why if you're even a slight ally, a lot of trans people will just clutch onto you and want you to be a better ally overall. And that's just life. That's the horrifying small look into a very small facet of life. It's true, it's real, and it's honest. I find this to be a very human story overall. I find this to be very lovely. With that being said, thank you guys so much for checking out my video. If you have any thoughts about the situation, please let me know in the comment section down below. Or if you want to help me out right now, I'm trying to move out of Detroit because I recently got attacked. I have a GoFundMe in the top comment if you want to help. We're, I think, 8,000 away just from me getting the funds to move. So yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out my video, and I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your nigga night, be my Laurel Angelo. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.